I'm Sean, this is my McLaren MP412C, and I have now owned it for 4 years. When I bought it, I was kind of planning on keeping it for 2 years, maybe moving to something else. Turned into 4 years. So this is going to be the summary of everything that I have spent on this car in the last 1 year. And if you haven't seen the other 3 videos, there is a playlist for that, which I'll put up here, and you can see the summary for each year for the first, second, and third years as well. So I'm going to cover everything that I've spent on the last year on this car, the actual real cost of ownership. The first expense that I've got here is the wheels. You may notice that these are new. These are 720S wheels that I've put on here, and I did this because I wanted to put really sticky tires on it. So if I want to go for, we'll say, a spirited drive or autocross or something like that, where I want to have a really sticky tire, I've got Goodyear Supercar 3R tires on here. They are the standard 720 tires, are the sizing for the tires. So we've got 245 35 in the front, 305 30s in the back, and those tires cost me about 1,800 bucks. The wheels, I picked up a set used. I managed to, what I would consider, steal them at $2,500. So I'm about 4,300 bucks in these wheels and tires, and I do still have the ones you've seen in the prior videos, the factory super lightweights. Those are what I use for my regular driving, the ones that I put all the miles on, which is also why I had to put a new set of rear tires on it. Those rear tires cost me about 900 bucks. Those are the Pilot Sport 4S's. Like I said, those are on the other wheels, so they're not pictured here, but that was another expense that I did have for tires. The fronts, got some thousands of miles left of life on those, so those will have to be replaced probably later this year, depending on how many miles get put on it. But not so bad on the rears. I did get about 22,000 miles out of the last set of rear tires. And speaking of miles, I bought this car with 16,000 of them. And the car now has 46,000. So I have managed to put 30,000 miles on this car in the last 4 years. That's an average of about 7,500 miles a year, which is pretty good considering last year and this year thus far, I'm not home a lot. I do a lot of traveling for McMedics. I'm working on these cars all over the country, so I don't have a lot of time at home. I have spent more than a third of the year away from home, but I still manage to get the miles on this car when I can, which you can tell with how dirty it is. I've been driving it at night, that kind of thing. Just haven't had time to watch it and barely had time to make this video. So in the other things that we had to do this year, this headlight was replaced 2 years ago. It also started to grow mold in that 2 years. So that has been resolved. That was at no cost to me. I did all the labor. That was just, you know, some elbow grease and some time. Not saying that my time is worthless, but it's my own car, so I can't charge me for it. So that was something we had to resolve. No big deal. I did a video on that, on how you can do that yourself as well. I've got to refer to my list for the remainder of the things that I've had this year. It's all maintenance stuff for the most part. We've got oil change. We have to do that every year. Actual material wise, I'm in that for about 80 bucks. Brake fluid should be done every 2 years, depending which one you choose. Could have a varying amount there, but I'm in that for about $40. I had some PPF get damaged in a couple spots, as that can periodically happen. That was a cost of $60 for the material. I actually did that myself. The underbody strakes, so those tend to get broken. There's a particular driveway that I went into that we'll say it had some roots that were raising up the pavement there. Went across those, broke those, so I had to replace those. Accumulators. Finally went and did accumulators. They were original to the car, about 40,000 miles, maybe 41,000. The rears were okay. Both of the fronts need to be replaced. So I had to replace those. If you buy those from emfautos.com, those are $1,600. Obviously, labor was on me because I'm a DIY guy. So if you count oil change, brake fluid, PPF, accumulators, strakes, and the rear tires. Things that really needed to be done, $2,680. That's it. Then I've got, let's say, the 4300 in the other wheels that was completely, you know, on me, want to do that. I did an ISG delete as well here recently. That cost me no money. I used scrap material that I already had. Cost me nothing there. Oh, and I changed my smart mirror. The other one was getting slow. I didn't really like it, so I got a new one. That was $180. So even if you count modifications, everything else, under $3,000 if I didn't change out the wheels. So the entire year under $3,000. And that is it. I had a pretty uneventful year with this car. Nothing really happened. I had some normal maintenance stuff, a little bit of here and there, and that's it. 43,000 mile car, it's good to go. Now, this is the 4th year video, but this should also be the final year video. I am selling this car after 4 years and moving on to something new and different, still in the McLaren world. So keep an eye out for that on the channel. Depending when you're watching it, it might have already happened. But this car has been fantastic over the last 4 years, which is why I would absolutely be in another one. Thank you for watching. I hope this has inspired you to own a McLaren, and make sure you watch all of the other videos with the DIYs and the previous 3 years if you haven't already.